Okay, guys, welcome back to my channel, Design Therapy, where I am healing the spaces in my home. And today I'm in another favorite space in the home, which is what I call my all day dining room. And the first time I've heard this concept was, I believe it was Lifestyle and Co. And she was doing an all day dining room in her home. And she gave the idea of having a room that is less formal because her family is more relaxed, and that's exactly how I feel. I feel like dining rooms were beginning to be like out of style and people feeling like they're not really used. And I wanted to have a space where we could still come together as a family, but it feels more relaxed and not dressed up. So I'll start off by talking about kind of my process with this room. And I have like a 5 step process, but today I'm going to focus on bringing your vision into your space and how I don't necessarily start with mood board. I start with more of the room and how the room make you feel, or how do you want the room to make you feel. And for this space and really throughout the entire home, I really want something that feels elevated, but with this quiet sense of just togetherness, or this quiet sense of maybe even luxury. It's like a relaxed luxury feel. So I initially had some constraints in this room, and it was mostly because my initial idea was to take the chair rail off the wall and place it down closer to the floor boards. And when I went to do that, I was pulling off the drywall with it. So I didn't want this room also to take a long time with redesigning it because I have a lot of other spaces that needs attention in the home. And this room already came with, to me, a lot of built-in architecture and character. Starting with the stack crown molding, it's really beautiful. You can tell there was some craftsman style when it went into installing the molding on the ceiling. And then also the trends and windows. I have 6 just in this room alone, and there's trends and windows throughout the whole home on the first level, in my bedroom, in the office, the kitchen, this room, and the family room, which it is open to. And so it didn't need a lot, but I just wanted to also have this special moment, and that when you walk in here, you still feel the relaxed, grounded, natural, earthy feel that I'm giving off. So, kind of a mixture between organic, rustic, and modern feel. And so I'm not going to share because I really want to keep it a surprise. So I'm not going to share exactly what I'm doing in the room, but I will say that I'm going to really warm up this space, and it is going to be a bit of a difference from the entryway and staircase, because it will be warmer than that area, but it will still have that same relaxed, quiet, subtle feel, sophisticated feel. Maybe not luxury. Luxury may not be the right word, but sophisticated, I would say, which I feel like really represents who I've always been, but definitely this point in my life. So I'm going to do like a challenge. I'm going to challenge myself, which this is one of the processes that I do when I want to design a space, is shopping your home. So I'm going to challenge myself to go around my home and not think about it so much, but more of the feeling. And I'm going to bring things through other parts of my home into this space without thinking about it. And if that's going to kind of tell me a story, if I'm on the right track or not, or maybe even if that's what I want for this room, just by going through the home and just pulling these things based off of what I want, what I think I want this room to feel like. So I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to give myself 2 minutes, and I'm going to go through my home, and then I'll meet you back here. Also, if this is something that you want to try to do in your home, set a timer for yourself too. And the reason why is because I don't want you to think about it so much. I just want you to grab things based off of how you feel. Okay, I'll meet you back here in 2 minutes. Okay, it is now 12:40, and I'm gonna come back here at 12:42. Let's go. So these are the items that I shopped my home for and brought back into this space. And if you just take a close look, you can see all of the different textures, but you see a lot of warmth and a lot of wood tones. So that may give you an idea of where I'm going in this space already. But some of the things that is doesn't necessarily stand out, but for instance, this statue here, the reason why I pulled this is because the textures of this and kind of the colors of it is something that I want to bring into this space. And that's going to be a surprise. So I'm not going to go into details there, but it's not necessarily the stone itself, but it's the feeling that it gives off. And the same thing with this stone as well too. And then I would say mostly what you see in front of you is lots of different tones of wood, whether it be an actual branch that I actually do keep in the home. It's very inspiring for me, but then also the basket, which is a darker tone wood, but still giving me that same feel. And then of course some greenery is important too. So I do want to bring in greenery into this space because ultimately I want it to have the grounding, natural, earthy feel when you come into this all day dining room. The biggest thing that I will say about the space is that because it already, again, has a lot of its own natural features, I want to make sure that I respect those features. And I also feel like I don't need to do much. And if I do too much, it's going to feel like it was overly designed. I want it to feel like it just naturally goes together and looks good together and then gives off this feeling at the same time. So that's where we are now. I've already been sharing just little snippets on reels and shorts on Instagram and YouTube, this channel. But I wanted to bring you into the space and get a feel for the design process, but then also the before, even though you're not seeing much of the before, but I am going to share that as well too. And then hopefully within a week or so, I'll be finished with this room. That is my goal because I really need to move on to other spaces. Thank you guys for coming back and being a part of this journey. And you're going to be shocked at the final reveal. At least I think so. One thing I've learned through both healing and design is that clarity rarely arrives at once. It reveals itself in layers. This room taught me what began as a simple plan to update the trim and refresh the walls slowly evolved into something entirely different. And as I moved through the design process, I started noticing patterns, not just in the objects I was drawn to, but in the feeling they created together. Warm wood tones, natural textures, earthy colors, a sense of calm, warmth, and collection. The more I paid attention, the more the design began to reveal itself. Not because I was following a trend or I was copying a room from Pinterest, but because I've learned to trust what resonates with me. And I think that's true for so much of my life. I want to thank you again for stopping by and supporting my channel. If you like what you saw today, please remember to hit the like and also to subscribe, as I am still growing my channel and I would love for you to see the final reveal.